Hello and welcome to another heart-to-heart session on Love Handle, a series where we get unfiltered about love and relationships. So our guests today are a power couple who have been together for more than 35 years. What's more interesting is they've been in the same profession for over 40 years.
Hi, I'm Sohrab I'm an architect based here in Delhi.
Hi, I'm Sonali Bhagwati. I'm an architect practicing in Delhi. We were very good friends and we were very close to each other.
How did things change from friendship to like being together?
I was in the US. My parents were in Australia at that time and my father had a heart attack there. And it was a very scary moment. And I felt that I wanted somebody with me at that point who was like a partner who had my back and I had his back. And I think at that point I picked up the phone, called up Sohrab and I told him, marry me.
And was there a formal proposal after the phone call?
No.
I actually wanted to get engaged, but he said, what's the point of getting engaged? We just get married.
We didn't want an elaborate wedding.
Okay.
We thought there were lots of better ways of spending that money that you would spend on a wedding.
So we didn't have a big fat Indian wedding. We had a little thin Indian wedding.
Yeah.
We had a signing ceremony because we are from different religions. So
I'm Parsi and Sonali
I'm born a Hindu. So we have to have a registered marriage. And we just had actually that. And the magistrate came. It was in my living room with all of 40, 50 people. It was just close family and some very, very close friends. And
So-
that's what it was.
And then we had the Parsi blessing, which was again a lunch out in the garden at a friend's place. We had one reception,
And even that reception was like really simple.
low-key.
Low-key. I did the decor myself. So I was standing there sorting things out till an hour before the reception was starting. Then I quickly went home, changed and came back. And we were there, So it was just like a party.
Yeah.
And I had borrowed stuff from a friend who has been very kind, and we just sort of put it together in this very nice ethnic Indian theme. And I think it looked very nice. We had chaat instead of any elaborate meals. Also, I wanted that whatever is being spent on the wedding should be something that we should pay for. And whatever clothes I got made or whatever little jewelry, I mean, there was really nothing to even mention that kind of jewelry. But we decided that we will do it out of our savings because I just didn't want my parents and Sohrab didn't want his mom to really spend money on the wedding,
Right. You two come from different faiths. Did you face any pushback from your family side?
None whatsoever. Actually, there are different faiths, but actually Parsis speak Gujarati and Sonali's Gujarati. So it's actually not so different. A lot of the customs are very similar. But even if they hadn't been, I think that would never have been a stumbling block.
I don't think that was even a thought
Yeah.
in anyone's mind. I'm really not religious. But I truly respect whatever Sohrab would want to do in terms of a religious ceremony or prayer or whatever. I truly respect that.
So, as Parsis, we have something called a Navjot ceremony. So our kids, again, this is not something that I agree with, but that's the way it is, that if the father is Parsi and the mother is not, the kids still have the option of being Parsi. So our daughter was keen to have this Navjot ceremony. So she had it. And our son wasn't keen, so he hasn't had his Navjot ceremony. So it's not something that really worries us. Some of these customs, too much is made out of them. And I think just being good to other human beings is a much better way of practicing a religion rather than going to a temple.
So neither of us are religious in terms of rituals, but we want to imbibe the good things of both the religions. And that's what we've tried to impart to the kids as well.
And what's your favorite memory with each other?
I think
the Turkey. When we were in Turkey on a holiday, we were on the Blue Voyage and there was this guy with us who was a historian, but who was also like a guide with us. He was very knowledgeable, extremely informative about everything. He was a coffee cup reader. One afternoon, everybody was having coffee and he was sort of reading the dregs. And he made Sohrab also have coffee. He said, oh, something really big is going to happen to your life,
when you go back.
When you go back, it's going to really completely change. So we both looked at each other. I said, wow, some nice big new project coming our way. Very good, like we were very excited. We go back and we forget all about it. And then a few days later, it's Sohrab's birthday and we decide to go to Palna to register for adopting a child. We go to Palna. I had known them for many years. When we went there, this lady, Mrs. Kumar, who was the secretary, said that, I sort of had an inkling that you're going to be coming. And there is this little child who has come to me.
3 weeks ago, she said.
3 weeks ago. I think she's perfect for you. I tried to call you when she came, but I figured you were traveling now that you're back, and she's waiting for you. And that's exact words the guy in Turkey had used, that something very big is going to happen. It has actually already happened, but it's waiting for you to get back. So it was like oh my God, it was like some sort of an epiphany or whatever.
Deja vu, yeah.
And that's what our daughter was. And we saw her, and in 2 seconds, we both fell in love with her.
Yeah. So after she came home, how did your relationship change with each other?
We were equally involved with her. Sohrab was as responsible and as involved. We both took turns getting up at night, whether to change her or to give her milk, or if she was crying. I mean, there were times when I would say, Sohrab, it's your turn now. And he would say, oh, it's your turn now, because we were both working through the day and we were both awake at night. And I said, oh my God, we've got to be superhuman to take care of a child. I don't know how anyone puts on weight. I think you can only lose weight when you have a child.
And also, now that you have 2 kids together and a dog and a cat, did anything change after that?
She hated dogs. About almost 15 years ago, the kids, one evening, we were in Delhi, the kids went out and brought this little lab retriever back.
I was out at a lighting review, so it was late in the evening. It was almost 10 o'clock when I came back. And when I came back, there was Sohrab and the 2 kids. They had gone behind my back and got this pup,
And Sonali said, how big will this pup become? And we said, oh, just a little more. The pup was about that size. And he grew to about that size eventually. So she was not very fond of Simba, but the brat that you just saw, a shadow.
Oh, I love him to bits.
Yeah, she spoils him silly. So that's changed. So a cat is a very new thing for any of us. I mean, we've never had a cat. And it's just been about, 2 weeks since the cat's been home. So that's a new experience.
What's your favorite quality about her and what's your favorite quality about him?
Sohrab has a nice sense of humor. So I think that's really nice. And he's dependable. So that's one very, very important thing about him that I like. Our relationship is truly equal, always. And whatever I do, he's willing to do, and vice versa. So I think that's one thing that I really respect. But I also attribute and thank his family for making him that way, because that comes from your background.
Wow, that's a lot of likes. No, so I think what I really admire about Sonali is her ability to play so many different roles. I think it's very complex, to be a mother, to be a very successful person in her profession, to sort of tie all this together and then still have time, to do the things that we enjoy doing together. So I think is a great quality. That's why very often I call her Superwoman, because, I don't think it's very easy for somebody to sort of play all those roles. And the other good thing is, I think, like a good Gujarati, she's very tight-fisted. So I think that keeps a curve on the spending in the house, and she's definitely the more rational person when it comes to what we should spend on or what we shouldn't spend on. So I think it's this ability to put all of this together, and balance all these various tasks that she really needs to do in a day that I really admire.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. It was such a pleasure to talk to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Verona for more such wholesome content.